All right, here we are. We're looking at my stuff. In the box is the stuff I found when I first went out. The other stuff on the left is every time I go out, I kind of, if I find the hair, I pick it up sometimes, but not all the time. But every once in a while I do, just to have fresher stuff. Now, why do I keep it? I don't really know, but I think it's just to prove to myself that these beings are real. And if you remember, I gave them a knife and they took it and started cutting their hair off with the knife. Because before, what they were doing was doing it with a bottle that I found out there, if you know the story. So people ask me, am I going to give this to anybody? I'm not really wanting to, because if other people find out that they're real, what they're going to do is what they always do, and they go out and kill everything, you know. So they're just going to kill the things and capture them and torture them and do all the things that they love to do to other beings in this world. But anyway, my idea was that the hair is hollow, and that perhaps some kind of fluid goes through these hairs and they can change the color of it. I don't have a clue what I'm talking about, but it just would make sense, because I don't think they grow in new hairs, and if you look at some of the hairs, they grow dark at the end and or light at the end, depending on what season it is. I think they obviously go white in the winter. And I've seen blobs out in the snow sometimes, and I've looked back and they were gone when I looked back a few seconds later, or not minutes, but seconds. But so, but I did see one year, and this was way back before I was even doing anything, and I saw this, what looked like a big bear, not a big bear, a little bear in a tree. But it didn't look like a bear. And every time I tried to look at it, it would cover its face. And when I tried to walk around the tree to look up at it and see its face and everything, it would turn away and it would hide its face. Well, since then I've heard that the little people will do that. And I guess if you were to see his face, you would realize right there and then that it's a person and not a bear. And that's what they do. And I just happened to catch this thing. I was in a swamp, actually, on the edge of it, and I happened to look up, which I often do, and there it was. It was just sitting up in a tree, maybe about 30 feet up, but I couldn't see its face. It wouldn't let me. It just kept on turning its head and putting its head down into its chest area, and it had its hands up or whatever, and we're hiding its face. So that was interesting. But my theory on the hair is that maybe it's that it can change color. You know, like well, I don't know what changes color, but it's like a chameleon, in other words. So then you have the black hair too, but we'll get into that in a minute. Let's turn this off now and see how. So now we have the black hair. This was found in the forest in an ancient graveyard, and it was on top of the ground, and it was like a 5 foot by 8 foot or so pile, maybe about 10 inches thick, of this black hair, and it was just out in the forest. And so I grabbed myself up a big wad of it, a big handful, and stuffed it in my pocket. I had a big jacket on, and it had big pockets, so I just stuffed it in the pocket. And anyway, went back the next day, and it was all gone. It was as though it had never been there. And the weird thing about it was I had taken video of the hair on the ground, and I actually had a person with me, and we were standing next to the hair and talking about it, And all those video clips when I got home were gone. And this was at the beginning when I started to realize that whoever has the power out there has the power to make video cameras just not work, and or they take the videos out. Sometimes they just take out a clip or two, and it must be because there's something that was in the clip that they saw. So anyway, the hair. Now we're going to look at this hair up close. And the interesting thing about this hair is that all the hair is not the same thickness, and they're actually different colors. If you see this one, it's like translucent. If you can see, you can actually almost see through it. And so that's like the brownish tint that I show. And the other one is black, the one that's on top of the other now. And you can see the translucent one underneath. But my theory here again is like, how do these beings disappear? Because people say they disappear. My only thought can be is that they have technology, which that means they would have to be carrying around something with them. So you could imagine a Bigfoot walking around with some gadget on him that can make him disappear. But that sounds unlikely. With the little people, I imagine something like that, because I did actually give them a leather bag one year, and they took that and pulled off all the fringe on it, but they took the bag with them, and I was thinking that would be helpful for them, carry things around. But I don't know about the Bigfoot, what he does. But so let's assume that he has no technology. So he's using something natural. So it's like the white being again. Is this hair, as you saw, was translucent? Is it, again, that same deal where some kind of fluid in their body goes through their hair and it can change them like a chameleon? So they can just blend into the background just by like being like a chameleon or an octopus. It's kind of weird. I've never really found this hair anywhere else. I said I had found it once. I actually found it twice. And somewhere else I have stuffed that other hair, but it was pretty kind of messy. At the time it was all covered in some dung type material. I have no clue what that stuff is. But anyway, that's it. That's what it looks like under a microscope.